Hi, it's Kelly here again with a little unique talk. I haven't checked in quite a long time. It's been a very active summer. I was able to participate in some weddings, and that's a miracle. And people really supported me in being able to attend very lovingly, and it was really lovely. Surprised I could even get there. And I had my daughter's two friends got married this summer, so I was very active with all kinds of stuff around the weddings. And it went really well. And I want to dedicate this talk to my lifelong friend, Bill Bevan, who passed away last week, the day before my mom's birthday. And he's been my rock, and he's the guy that was going to take care of me when I hit the fan. And so it's this, cosmic joke that I've always warned people about when you think you have a diagnosis and you get all wrapped up in, like I've said before, the whole world could implode before I even die. So not to take any of this seriously, but also to be really aware that even though you think, like we've been planning for my death for 5 years now, and he's gone. He got stage 4 lung cancer, and I noticed something a little off, and within a few months it was more off, and then he went to the doctor, stage 4, and gone within a couple months from beginning to end. So I'm proud of him for leaving. I've been also really, going into a deep sense of grief, and emotion is motions that move. And I can see that my ego wants to get all tangled up in the story. It's hard to watch him. I watched him for 2 weeks in ICU, and to watch your rock become, tubes and wires and stuff all over. It's a great opportunity to, be loving and love someone on one hand, but another one just to look past that and see and feel and know that he's eternal. And I went to a friend's house today who has been teaching me metaphysical principles or learning them with me, and we remind each other all the time. And he said, anytime that you're not in joy, feeling joy, you're choosing the ego. And I remember yesterday when I was, crying and playing this song about angels over and over again, that part was a grief part, but it can turn to self-pity so fast. And so here I am, still working the principles, and just so happy to report for the progression and the healing. I started doing the medical cannabis, and I've been so judgmental about it. And I'm doing the CBD oils, and oh my gosh, it's making such a difference with the pain. I only had one pain crisis this week. I'm always in about an 8, which is heavenly. And the Eustachian temporal lobe thing is down quite a few notches, for several days. And I never had, more than a few hours where I didn't have a pain crisis, like head crushing pain crisis. And I'm seeing that it's starting to wear on my little forehead. Gotta try to soften that with some meditation, I'm sure. And all of these things work. All of these tools really help. And the ALS is just a lot of the symptoms, a lot of the pain back in here, it's still in here, but they're gone. And I even jumped in the lake at Yosemite this summer with my girls, and if you have Alzheimer's or dementia, water is not your friend. It freaks you out. Showering is overwhelming. Brushing your teeth is overwhelming. There's this aversion to water, and I really enjoyed it. So that's how much better that was. And I get little bits of a thunking, but no tremors, and hardly any, paralysis on the whole right side. I know you've seen my fingers and my hands before, and it's so improved. And I could even write again. So I found another website where a lot of people are curing ALS with all the same stuff that I've been downloaded and following, and so it's very validating and super cool. And I am just so happy to be able to share this stuff, and have a homeopathist that supports us and sends some stuff for actually for free to a lot of people, just to help them out. So she's like dusting fairy dust around. She volunteers at the women's shelter. And so I can pass along some of that information for people. And I also got to spend this evening with my very dear friend Sterling, and there's a story about my, when you have facial recognition problem, and he just came because my heart was hurting really bad yesterday, and he came to San Rafael, and we sat at the farmer's market and talked, and I wasn't capable of doing that before, of even thinking of getting out of the house and getting dressed and getting there. And occasionally I can do that now. I also am really comfortable not doing it. And I can't say enough about bringing down the bar. Like, instead of stressing myself out so much that I've got to do this, this, and this, I just totally let go of a lot of things and simplified. And I've even taken up Netflix, and I've never been a person to sit and watch TV. I've been doing some binge watching because it's, I'm so high strung and I'm such a perfectionist, and it takes me hours and hours to do what used to take me a minute. And so I'm just stressed all the time. And it's nice to have some sort of escape. I'm putting a plug in for, I never thought I'd say this. I didn't watch TV for 30 years, but I'm putting a plug in for not social media, for comedy too. Oh my gosh, any laughing is such good medicine. So today was a lovely day. Sterling and I got to talk about how everything's a choice. And I was so sad yesterday. And when I was out on my walk, I just kept repeating the words, God, love, God, love, God, love, because God's inside of all of us. And if I can just remember that creation, the source energy, that thing that makes everything keep flowing, then the emotion can keep flowing too. And I can return back to God. And I heard this voice in my head when I started saying that, say, there really is no death. And I know that because I've flatlined before, and that it said the Son of God is free, which meant to me that if I'm going to focus on him being dead, my best friend Bill being dead just because he dropped a body, I'm only focusing on what my eyes are seeing. But the bottom line is that his soul lives on forever. All energy keeps moving. It's a new energy, and form is totally different, but the content will always be there, just like water is water, whether it's steam or ice or, part of the river or the lake or whatever, frozen. So I just wanted to honor that and keep on track that there is no death, and that I can choose to be happy in all of the fear about financial stuff with my rent increase that's higher than what I make in rent, and all of these life things that are happening, just to continually stay with disciplining my thought over and over again, that I could choose peace instead of this, or I could choose joy. And honestly, if I can do that in every moment, it doesn't matter what's going on. And I was talking to Sterling about this time of our life, we have been through the time where we're creating these identities, and now we just have to get really happy and loving and peaceful as we let everything go, and be happy being poor, and be happy being, in this piece of it, because it's really just a practice to undo everything, to let go. Every one of us is going to drop the body. So how do we, continually, peacefully and joyfully and happily let go of all this stuff that's our identity and still find God, love, joy? So blessings to you. I hope that you're doing well. And if you need any help, coaching, or anyone to talk to, there is a way to get through frontal temporal dementia with ALS and find your happy spot and actually reverse and slow many symptoms. So blessings to you with all my love.